Hey guys, I hope you're all well. Today I'm looking at the Ox, another great stout gear knife. This one's made of S35VN. It has a 10-inch blade, 1/4 inch tang, fully convex with micro bevel. Here's the sheath. It's a Kydex with a welt that's made of HDPE plastic, which Anthony Stout thinks is more resistant to cutting and blade wear. It's got the, sort of trademarked metal hardware, which is pretty comfortable, if you're concerned about it. I wore mine around for a couple hours and found it to be really comfortable. I have an Ibex, which is a smaller stout gear knife. I've worn that sheath all day without any problems. So here it is. It's a beautiful two-tone. In this case, you can have it finished to your specifications, obviously, if you custom order it. It's got really nice G10 handles. You can see it has 4 loveless bolts, so it's very durable. That handle's not going anywhere. And then a lanyard hole. This is actually a friend's knife. He's put this lanyard in it. I don't actually usually use lanyards. This thing is a chopping monster. You can just tell. It's got a nice recurve slash almost kukri type design, so it's got a lot of weight forward at the end of that arch where your swing is the fastest, and you can really put a hurt on a lot of things. Anthony says it's designed to be an all-around camp knife, able to function as a hatchet, a draw knife, a regular knife if you choke up on it. It's a very good delimber and debarker, which he uses it for frequently. And as a homesteader, he's actually used it to butcher livestock as well. So here you see the American Bladesmith Society website. You're probably saying why, and I'll tell you more in a little bit. But they certify bladesmiths around the world. They obviously deal in forged knives, which tend to be made of high carbon, low alloy steels, hardened by oil, brine, or water quenching, like 1075, 1080, 1095, 5160, 52100, 01W2, Damascus blades especially. So stout gear knives are not forged. They're made from sort of more modern alloyed steels or stainless steels by stock removal process, which is where you grind a metal away from a pre-made, prefabricated bar of steel. In contrast to the high carbon bladesmithing type steels, these steels, the metals we see so often used today, are more difficult to forge. They require more precise temperature control, among other difficulties. They air harden, for example. So the modern steels also tend to be highly engineered, come processed and milled and fabricated with advanced metallurgical techniques like powdering. So a lot of people argue that there's not many benefits to convey to a blade by forging a more modern steel like these in the first place. So why do I bring this up? Passing the journeyman or mastersmith knife test in the ABS requires a knife to do certain things. It has to slice a 1-inch or thicker manila rope as it hangs to demonstrate sharpness and efficient blade geometry. The knife must then chop through 2 construction grade 2x4s and still be capable of shaving hair from the maker's arm, which is sort of how they test edge retention. As well, at this point, the master smith conducting the test will look at the edge of the knife and inspect it for chipping, cracking, rolling, which demonstrates proper control of carbides and grade and size during the heat treating process. After this, the knife is put in a vise and bent to 90 degrees without breaking, which demonstrates mastery of differential hardening of the blade. The edge is very hard, the spine is very soft. That's something that's not really undertaken in most production knives. Much to Tops Knives' credit, they actually do differentially heat treat a lot of their high carbon steel blades. So using the ABS bladesmith test, which is for forged knives, on a stock removal knife probably leaves a lot of you wondering, wasn't this apples and oranges? In some respects it is, but we aren't going to do a bend test, obviously, in this case. But I think it can help us ascertain the presence of some desirable qualities in the knife. Its blade geometry, toughness, for example. Here it's doing a very good job slicing this manila rope. I've cut cardboard as a measure of edge retention in the past. I don't really have the patience to push cut a bunch of rope, so I've never really done that. I think in the case of outdoors knives, chopping can give us a good sense of edge retention, toughness, durability, and overall construction, which is why I use it so often, even on knives not technically designed for chopping. So what do you guys think? Do you think it'll still be razor sharp? I've done this type of testing with stout gear knives before, so I was pretty confident it would be, and it is. There's no chips or gouges or rolled edges or anything. It held up well. In fact, I'd like to find some harder wood, so I went out and found a dry tree limb, and I'm going to chop on that for a little bit and see what happens. It's no longer shaving hairs at this point. Even though the grind only comes halfway up the knife, I didn't have any hang-ups, although admittedly the wood was fairly dry. I think with the blade geometry you would expect good results with batoning any type of wood though. For a 1/4 inch tang, it's got a lot of fine work in it. Well, no surprise, I like this knife a lot, guys. I like a lot of the Stout Gear products. If you guys haven't had a chance to look at them yet, maybe your local retailer doesn't carry them, ask them to get them in stock. They're a worthwhile product and really nice knives. So, as usual, have a good one, guys.